Hey, Meoni here. Welcome back to another video covering more stuff added in 7.31. This time we're on the brand new planet Faena on the Cosmic Exploration at the Cosmo Credit Exchange, where you can exchange your Cosmo credits for a variety of things. There is actually a brand new outfit that will cost you in total 30,000 Cosmo credits for the full 5-piece set. They have individual prices, and you might want to pick up a separate piece of this or the full set. This is what it looks like then in a well-lit area. We're in the Grand Cosmos on Explorer mode, my usual place to go and record. It is an interesting set. It immediately, reminds me of Battleship Commanders, maybe something from StarCraft. There's a lot of detail on this outfit which made me question the dyes. We'll get to the dye previews in a little bit. There's timestamps if you want to skip ahead and not listen to me drone on about things, because I know some of you really don't like it when I narrate my own videos, but I can't apologize enough for my shit voice. But here we are, right? The details are quite interesting. They do detract away a lot from the other sections, so it'll be interesting to see how this actually dies. There's some individual parts I like about this. The boots are fairly generic. We've got boots like this in the game already, as far as I can tell. These aren't too special, apart from some of the neon reflectors there, the turquoise reflectors and the metal inlay. The pants then looking pretty much the same. I really dislike the sort of two-tone textures around the sort of ankles and shin section, as well as the upper trousers. You'll see why later in the dye section. The gloves are quite unsurprising. There's a bit of metal on there, sort of rubber two-tone gloves with sort of like a metal pipe running around it. And there's the chest piece alone if you are interested to see how that hangs on a character. I fear that this is probably not going to be the most popular of the sets added in 7.31, simply because it's a long robe-esque sort of jacket. Although some of you probably have waited for this sort of military sort of outfit. And yeah, it'll probably help you create the finishing touches to your set, especially with this hat, which immediately screams M. Bison for me from Street Fighter, which is, definitely something you're going to see running around, lots of M. Bison recreations. It's not a bad set. In terms of how Viera ears work with this, then if you have them turned on, you can toggle them off now as a part of 7.3. They sort of clip out the top just like that. If you were wondering, I used a Fantasia so that we could demonstrate these, and honestly it doesn't look too bad. I'd rather them pop out personally, but at least you have a choice to turn that off now if you play Viera as of 7.3. Hrothgar looking like a Hrothgar. Hat's working perfectly fine. Of course, when it comes to the tails of your character, it is going to vary the amount of clipping depending on the size of your tail. Hrothgar tails are very much like Mikote tails, but when it comes to something like an Aura, for example, here looking pretty good, but the tail is slightly higher because of how big that tail sort of scale tail actually is, right? It's clipping into the metal a little bit. It's not a bad looking set, and it is obtainable in the game, but I do fear a lot of people were probably not going to go for this one. It is fairly cheap and freely accessible. Cosmo credits are fairly easy to get. There are some good dye combinations though, if you are going for something sort of military feeling. Maybe you're part of the military in real life, in which case thank you for your service in whatever capacity you work. But yeah, you can look pretty cool in the game as well. Bright colors are questionable, especially when it comes to yellows and metallic colors. I personally think everything in the game looks good in carmine red and jet black. That's like my go-to set of dyes these days. I used to be pure white and jet black, but now, oh look at that, it looks so good. Now I'm seemingly going towards carmine red. It's just such a strong color, and it makes ruby red just look really dull in comparison. Remember the day when ruby red was actually the brightest color in the game, and now it's like, wow, okay, nothing in comparison. I think some of the details obviously are detracting from the dye palette. That was going to happen. We kind of guessed that, especially with all of the brass and silver inlays, all that sort of neon stuff. But I don't think it detracts too much away from it. I think it's a decent choice in terms of dye palette, and I prefer this secondary and primary to what could have been, right, instead of just bits of metal changing color. I think that's a good option to go for. But yeah, all in all, not terrible dyes. It's just going to come down to your own preference if you even like the outfit or pieces of it in the first place, which is what this sort of video is for. We're going to showcase as much as we physically can from this patch and onwards. So this, I thought it would be a good idea just to give you a demonstration of the separate pieces, how they dye, both the gloves and the legs. As I was telling you earlier, like, I really don't like how those legs dye with the second part. The same thing happens with the boots though. You've got that top part changing color and then the bottom. This is less egregious to me because there's less fabric basically being dyed, but it is what it is. It's going to be down to you. The best thing about this set is that you can store it as one item rather than 5 because it is an outfit glamour. Of course, outfit glamours still have restrictions on their dyes and stuff like that, so if you want to dye things and store them with the dyes, you're still going to have to store them separately. But yeah, it's not a bad set, and of course, like I said, Bison, you can make a pretty good look-alike, or I say so myself. Let me know what you think about this set, and more videos on the way from 7.31 onwards. Very excited to cover all of Faena and other cosmic stuff as well. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.